Hey, what is up, guys? Sin Priest from Team Sinister here, and today I wanted to show you guys my Magicka Dragonite. But instead of just showing you what I'm running or whatever, I wanna tell you guys how to make your own PvP build. A lot of people are kind of indecisive on what builds they want to run, or they're really after the next best thing. And for Elder Scrolls Online, the #1 search thing for ESO are build videos, whether it be Deltius, Cypher, King Richard, Blobba Fat. You know, there's just so many good ESO players on YouTube, and the #1 search thing for them, or the #1 search thing for Elder Scrolls period, are build videos. Now you can disagree. That's fine. That's on you. You can disagree. But instead of trying to copy another player's build, I want to try to show you guys how to make your own build. Because you can copy the build, but you can't copy the player. You can be his build, but you can't be him. Now, so the first thing about making a build, and with the way Elder Scrolls is, the community, it's really, with making builds, it's a race to who uploads first. There's a lot of great duelers, a lot of great 1vx people that play ESO on PC and Xbox that don't have a YouTube channel. They have great builds, but they don't have YouTube. So I want to show you guys how to make your own build, because really, and you can call the build yours. The armor I'm running, the sets I'm running, people are gonna say, "Hey, you copied this guy, you copied that guy." Like, no, I didn't copy. I thought of this on my own. But there's really such a limited amount of good sets that you can't not be running the same thing someone else is running. Like like before this patch came out, half the people were all running martial knowledge. Did you copy the guy's build? No, martial knowledge was like one of the best spell damage at the time. So I'm running. This is the armor I'm running. If someone else is running this, I'm not copying your build, bro. It's really, when it comes to builds, it's a race to YouTube. Whoever uploads first, they get to call it their build. So that's why I don't really name my builds. But let's forget that. So, how to make your own build? Let's get to it. So the first thing you want to do, step 1, is choose Magicka build or stamina build. I'm choosing Magicka. All right. So I've already committed. Boom. I want to be a Magicka build. Alright, step 2, choose armor sets. Now, you want to choose an armor set. You want to pick the armor sets that have these 4 things. They at least have max stat recovery, damage, or crit. Now, if they have max stat, damage, like 2-piece max stat, 3-piece damage, 4-piece damage, that's fine, go for it. But you want to make sure you have the best sets for PvP are sets that have damage, in my opinion. And if the set doesn't have damage and just has max stat, recovery, or all recovery, you fill in the void with enchantments, and we'll get into that later. So I'm running Magnus. The reason why is because I want the max Magicka, I want the recovery, and it gives me a decent amount of damage. I'm running 5-piece Willows. Now, the reason why I'm running Willows is because the recovery. Now, a lot of you guys say, but what about the max stat and the damage? Well, exactly. You want to fill that void with enchantments. So I have recovery on the necklace and spell damage on the rings. Now, what you can run, one of my favorites to run, is Kaganax. So 5-piece Kaganax. Now this gives you max Magicka. Remember, a Magicka build, so max Magicka is great. Magicka recovery, that's great. Now max health That's great. People say, well, it gives me max health. Now, we're not after the 4th trait. What we really want in character acts is the 5th trait. Because what did I say? You want damage. Boom. 5th trait, 200 to 14 damage. That's what you want. Now, the extra resurrection speed, that's just a bonus. I don't care about that. I want the damage. So, 214 damage with a 5-piece Shoes of Kakarnak's Hope, V15. If it was V16, it would have been much higher. Make it gold armor, would have been much, much higher. So, we'll see. This is the armor traits I'm running because it's max Magicka, recovery, health, and damage. You can't go wrong with having all 3 of those, having recovery, max stat, and damage in the same set. But remember, if you're running an armor set that doesn't have recovery, damage, or max, you want to fill in the voids with the enchantments. Fill in what you're missing with the enchantments. Does that make sense to you guys? So if you're running, like if Magnus was all max, it was max Magicka, and spell damage, it had no recovery on it, fill in that void with a Magicka recovery enchant. If you're missing some Magicka recovery, fill it in with an enchant. Now, since I'm a Magicka build, you want to enchant all armor pieces with Magicka. Does that make sense? So all Magicka. Every single piece, Magicka. Now, once you've got your armor sets. Oh, another thing, your jewelry. In this meta right now, willpower for Magicka builds, and rings and necklace of agility for stamina builds. So you can't go wrong with either of those. I would highly recommend you get willpower for Magicka because of the max Magicka and spell damage. Those are the 2 things. Those are in the top 4 of what we're looking for. We're looking for damage, crit, max stat, max Magicka, every Magicka build, max stamina over stamina build, and recovery. Magicka recovery for Magicka, stamina recovery for stamina. Willpower gives us a lot of max Magicka and a lot of spell damage. Recommended the traits. If you have all healthy, that's fine. If you have arcane for Magicka, that's great. If you have robust, that's fine. Fill in the voids with our step 2 attribute points, or step 3, my bad. So step 1, choose Magicka build or stamina build. Step 2, choose armor sets. Step 3, spec your attribute points. Now, since I'm running all healthy, I have a lot of max health. All my jewelry is healthy. I have no health enchants. All max Magicka. All max Magicka. Now, since my health is at 19, this is unbuffed, no food. I'm running no food. Now, remember, what I recommend when speccing your attribute points, do it in Cyrodiil, because that gives you can visually see the health increase by 5,000 and reduce damage by whatever, and the shield strength or whatever. You can see all the raw stats in PvP. So go to a server that your alliance is getting shit on. This is chill rent for Xbox. I'm literally spawn trapped. Every now and then I try running out there just to get jumped. It's fine. So look for a server where you have no buffs. No Emperor buffs, no enemy keep buffs. You want raw stats. So go to your character sheet in Cyrodiil. So as you see, we have 1900 health in 19k health in Cyrodiil because of Battle Spirit. Now this lets you visually see what your PvP health is. So I do recommend going to Cyrodiil with a server with no buffs. So now looking at it is, I have 19k health. That's great, because what you want is at least 20k health in PvP. 20k. That's what you want. That's your goal, is 20k. Now we're running food with Magicka builds, so we're gonna have way more than 20k because of food. So what I'm gonna do is put all my points into Magicka. Understand? Magicka build, pumping all points into Magicka. Now you see my stamina is low, but remember, we're gonna run food. We're gonna run try food, so our max stamina is gonna get a little bit higher. If you are a stamina build, you don't want to run, well, I don't recommend. You can run food, but I recommend running drinks. Tri-stat drinks for stamina builds, tri-stat food for Magicka builds. If you are a stamina build, since you're not taking food, you want to make sure you're pumping attribute points into health until you get 20k. So 854 should get my health to 20k. Then after you get 20k health, you want to pump it all into stamina. Now this is for stamina builds. This is what you want to do for your stamina builds. You want to pump health to get 20k. And this is after you already put your enchantments onto your armor. So that's what you want to do. Remember, 20k health. If you're stamina build, you're not running food, so you can't afford to have anything less than 20k. So pump your attribute points into max health to get you 20k. But since I'm a Magicka build and we're gonna run food, we're gonna have a lot of health, a decent amount of stamina, and a lot of Magicka. So this is what we're doing. Boom. Now after you've done everything, after you've done your attribute, you've picked the armor sets you wanted, you put the max enchantments on them, you got your jewelry, you figured out if you had arcane, robust, and healthy. You fill in the void. After you've done filling in the void of your stats with the attribute points in Cyrodiil, remember, in Cyrodiil, you want to look at your stats, look at your character sheet and say, hey, what am I missing? If your spell damage is below 2k and your Magicka recovery is like super high, use the boon. Change the boon, take off the spell recovery, the magic recovery, and put on spell damage. You know, if your spell damage is high and your magic recovery is like only 1100, take away the spell damage boon, put on recovery. Put on recovery. So that's for the character sheet. Now, step 4 is to choose your skills. So remember, step 1, choose Magicka build or stamina build. Step 2, choose the armor set you want. Step 3, spec your attribute points. And step 4, choose your skills. Now, every PvP bar should have these kinds of skills. Now, you can disagree. Your opinion, go ahead, disagree. But I'm trying to help you guys on making your own PvP build. Now, every build should have 1, an execute, 2, a main DPS build skill, 3, a gap closer, 4, a hard CC or any kind of CC, 5, a heal, 6 buffs, 7 shields or armor, and 8, an AoE. So you want to have at least those things on your build. So you want to have an execute. DKs don't have a class at execute, so we're running Dawnbreaker as our execute. I wish they did, but we don't. So Dawnbreakers are execute. Now you want a main DPS skill. Flame Lash is our main DPS skill. You want a gap closer. Fossilize. Fossilize hits at 17 meters, so I can fossilize from 17 meters and then run up to them while they're fossilized. Or if you're sword and board, use Invasion. Now the Dragon Knights, their class gap closers suck the chain. Not really. I don't think it's any good. You want a CC, a hard or soft. Nightblades have mass hysteria. We have Dragon Knights have fossilize, talons. I think the ones that lack good CCs are. Sorks have CCs. They have that prison thing. Templars really don't have much. They have the javelin, and they do have the charge, where they charge at you. They're a gap closer. So you want to have at least a gap closer. or at least a CC. You also want to have a heal. Remember, you're a self-sustaining build, so you want to have a heal, a self-heal. I have Coagulating Blood. Templars have Breath of Life. Nightblades, they have Vigor. Staminas have Vigor. Magickas have Healing Ward. Sorks have Healing Ward. You want to have a heal. Every build should have Rapid Regen, Mutagen, whatever it is. You want to have a heal. Now, every build should also have a buff. I have Entropy. Stamina builds have Rally or a Hidden Blade. Sorks, I recommend Entropy as well. So remember, buffs. You want Executes, a DPS skill, Gap Closer, CC's. CC's crowd control. So you want heals, you want a buff, and you also want defensive buffs or shields. So I'm a DK. Ignis Shield is our shield. Templars start shield stacking. Templars have Blazing Shield. It's a short shield, but it's great. Harness Magicka. DK's Hardened Armor. Nightblades. Nightblades are a different story. They're not really... They do have Healing Ward if they're Magicka build. Harness Magicka. They could use a movable if they're Stamina build. But they really do have Cloak as their defensive ability. And another thing you want to have is AoEs. You really want to have AoEs if you're running solo, or at least one, to bring Nightblades out of stealth. Another thing is optional is to have an escape. Sorks have Streak. Nightblades have Cloak mandatory. Templars and Dragon Knights don't have an escape, so I recommend Vampire and using Elusive Mist. I am not personally running Vampire simply because I don't have enough champion points to be spending an Elemental Defender. But when I do have 1,000 champion points like everybody else, some people on PC do have, I will be pumping some into that. So those are the basic skills you want to have. I don't know what all the skills are named for all the classes, so please forgive me and my lack of knowledge, but those are the basic things on how to make your own PvP build. And champion points, for champion points, what you really want to do is, if you're V14 and you're watching this, you should have at least 60, correct? So you should have at least 20 for each tree as a V14. If you have more, that's great. So what you want to do, pump first. If you're Magicka build, you want to focus on reduce cost of Magicka. If you're Stamina build, reduce cost of Stamina. Magicka, Magicka recovery. Stamina recovery. So if you only have 60 points, that's 20 each tree. If you're Magicka, pump 10 here and pump 10 here. Okay, now the mage tree. If you're Magicka build, you want at least 30 in here because you want spell crit. If you're Stamina build, you want at least 30 in the ritual because why? Weapon crit. Now remember, I'm gonna pretend I only have 20 points at each tree. So Dragon Knights, we do mostly fire damage. 10 here. Running Nirnhoned, so we don't really need much of that right now. Spell crit, yes. Self-sustaining, bless, effectiveness of any healing you cast. Self-sustaining, you want to be a self-sustaining build. 9. Or I can put 5 and then 4. So that's 20. For this one, we're running 5 light. So, light. And spell shield's really important. Put 5 there. Self-sustaining build, remember? So 5, it's a quick recovery. This stacks with blessed. If you're a heavy build, take him out of light, put it into heavy. If you're medium, same thing goes with medium. Vice versa, same thing. If you're running sword and board, pump some to block expertise. So champion points are really wherever you see, like I said, wherever you're lacking on your character sheet, put it there. Put it there. Wherever you lack on your character sheet, put it there. Alright, guys. So whatever you guys decide. Alright, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. These are the end game stats if I'm not running food. If I use food, hope I have food here. Yes, I do. These are my stats when I run food. Remember, our self-sustaining build. I have 2215 damage, 1500 recovery, 31k max magicka, and 23k health. Self-sustaining build. Alright, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you guys did like it. If you guys did not like it, please leave a comment. Please leave a comment below to help me improve my channel. So hope you guys did enjoy this video. And this is Sin Priest, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.